That's right.
All right.
You owe it to one another. So he says in verse number 4 that the wife had not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband had not power of his own body, but the wife. Which means that once you are married, your body belongs to your spouse. Which means whenever they want to do the do, you owe it.
All right.
I better quit now, y'all. Somewhere in our country, somebody came up with a term called spousal rape.
All right.
Anybody ever heard of that?
Amen.
I said, anybody ever heard of that?
Amen.
Paul says y'all owe it to each other.
All right.
Your bodies belong to one another.
Amen.
He says, and I'm just going to go textual with you, because I don't really want to talk about it anyway.
All right.
I'm kind of disturbed by all this stuff myself.
All right.
I couldn't sleep good this morning. He said in verse number 5, defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting in prayer. Now what he's saying is, don't withhold sexual intimacy from one and another unless you both agree to do it. And when you agree to do it, it should only be for a specified time.
All right.
And what you should utilize that time in which you have agreed not to have sexual intimacy, you should use that time for fasting.
All right.
After that specified time is over, y'all have to come again.
All right.
Into sexual intimacy.
Amen.
So that Satan does not tempt you to have sex outside.
All right.
I really should cook. Anybody smell something? He goes on to say in verse number 6, but I speak this by permission and not by commandment. Now when he says I speak this by permission and not by commandment, he is not referring to the preceding 5 verses. But he's referring to verse number 7.
All right.
He says, I would that all men were even as I myself. Paul was unmarried.
All right.
And celibate.
All right.
And that's what he's saying. He wish all men were like that.
Amen.
Because whenever a man is not entangled into the lustful pleasure of sex, when his mind is clear, he can give himself completely to the service of the Lord.
Amen.
I wish I could talk to somebody here.
Amen.
Jesus said that some men are born eunuchs.
All right.
Some men are made eunuchs by other men.
All right.
And then some men become eunuchs for the kingdom's sake. A eunuch is a person who cannot function sexually.
All right.
In the language of some old schoolers, they've been castrated.
All right.
But Jesus said some men choose, to not have sexual intimacy.
All right.
Because they want to give themselves completely to the service of the Lord.
Amen.
But I tell you, brothers and sisters, you should know by now, when men start thinking about women, they can't do much.
All right. Amen.
They really don't get a whole lot.
All right.
When they get women on the brain, y'all not gonna talk to me out here.
Amen.
I know y'all uncomfortable, right? Me too. When men get women on the brain, they really don't function.
All right.
They really don't function very well.
Amen.
Because they preoccupied. See,
all right.
See, men are visual.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to get somebody in trouble. But men are visual.
Amen.
Men are attracted to the opposite sex by vision.
All right.
And that's why Jesus says, if thy right eye offends you, pluck it out. Because it's better to be one eye.
All right.
Wish I could talk. Men get attracted to the opposite sex because of his eyesight.
All right.
You know, she looked good.
All right.
She looked fast. You understand what I'm trying to say, don't you?
Amen. Amen.
And so when it comes to being a eunuch for the kingdom's sake, some are born that way.
All right.
And then some are made eunuchs by me.
All right.
And then some become eunuchs for the kingdom's sake. And Paul was a man who became a eunuch for the kingdom's sake. Amen. And he says, I would that all men were even as I myself. But then listen, he says, but every man hath his proper gift of God.
All right.
Which means that if the Lord is not leading you,
all right.
I wish I had some help, because too many times in the things that we do, we leave the Lord out.
All right.
Brothers and sisters, you shouldn't do anything and leave the Lord out.
Amen.
Can I tell you that?
Amen.
I said, can I tell you that?
Amen.
You shouldn't sing, you shouldn't pray, you shouldn't preach and leave the Lord out. Whatever you do, you should be led by the Lord.
Amen.
That's why the songwriter said to the Lord, lead me, guide me along the way.
Amen.
So every man has his proper gift. If the Lord don't lead you to dedicate your life completely to him and be celibate and unmarried, don't do it.
All right. Amen.
But then if the Lord is leading you that way. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to make a point of clarification here. Ain't no shame in being a virgin.
All right.
Contrary to what our society tells us.
All right.
I wish I had. Wish I had.
Witness, amen.
Wish I had a witness here.
All right.
Because if you are a virgin, you cannot miss what you never had.
All right.
I wish I.
Amen.
I better go home. Yeah. And so if the Lord is not leading you, and the lust of the flesh, draws you to the opposite sex.
All right.
You should get married.
All right.
Now, brothers and sisters, that's easier said than done.
Amen.
Y'all not gonna talk to me.
All right.
Yeah. But Paul won't address that issue. You know, whenever a woman want to get married,
all right,
she have trouble finding a husband.
All right.
Because the person that she has so much in common with might not want to get married.
Amen. All right.
Are you listening to me?
All right.
But whenever a man want to get married,
all right,
he can always find a wife.
Amen.
Y'all quiet. Y'all knew that, didn't you?
Amen.
I said, y'all knew that. Because there's somebody in the world.
All right.